Air Force pilot breaks his silence after 45 years about the UFO he encountered outside a USA base in England. My name is Chris. I had a stroke, and now I love aliens. Let's get to the video.
The Strokeonaut. Finding the truth.
So the pilot's name is Dan Isbell, and this incident occurred on December 26th of 1980, right around the same time as the Rendlesham Forest incident. In this first clip, he's going to describe how he saw the UFO. He's driving down the road. Now, I got this information from the Professor Simon YouTube page, which I got a link in it. I put a link down below, so you can click it and watch the whole interview. I just took a couple of clips. It's like an hour-long thing, so I suggest you go watch it. I just took some clips of interest that I'm going to play today. So this first clip, he explains what the encounter was. Roll the tape.
I'm driving down that road. I'm all alone. And my 1980 Corvette had a big, like, glass coupe type long back window. Very good rear visibility. And what caught my eye was all of the unusual lights on this thing that came streaking in, and it zipped right by me and then stopped. And it was hovering right over what I knew to be one of the golf course greens. And there was a few trees between me and it, and there are trees on the other side of it. And at the end of it, because the golf course had a lot of trees and the way they designed the course. So it totally startled me. It was completely silent. I rolled down the window and there was no sound. I pulled my car off the road, opened my door, and stood and looked at it. And it was triangular shaped, but it didn't have a pointy front end. It had kind of a curved front end. And I couldn't see anything but the lower part of it. But all around it, it wasn't like individual lights that were going on and off or blinking or anything. It was almost like a plasma of changing colors going around the bottom.
So interesting story, and he seems very credible. So I like what he's saying. In this next clip, he's going to tell you what happened when he got out of the car, and then why he decided not to talk about this for 45 years. So this clip is a little longer. It may be three minutes longer, but we'll play this clip, and we'll talk about it when we come back on the other side. Roll the tape.
And being an aerospace engineer and knowing, I mean, we were trained for our combat, so we could recognize all aircraft systems that we might encounter, all friendly aircraft, so that we knew the difference. And this clearly wasn't a helicopter. It wasn't an airplane. It wasn't like anything I'd ever seen before. And it was my first ever encounter with an actual UAP. So my first curiosity inkling was to make my way to it. So I walked around the back of my car and started walking through the field, headed toward the trees, and then it reacted to that. And it started lowering itself down. And then I got kind of like scared because I go, if anybody saw me seeing a UFO, that would be the end of my career before I even got to test pilot school. So I had this immediate response that I need to run back to my car and get out of here before somebody sees me. And I'm not going to tell a soul that I ever saw this because, when you're doing a Victor alert and stuff, you're on special top secret clearance with personnel reliability program, PRP. And so psychological testing was a big part of that. And it would have been an easy thing for them to just basically say, no, he's crazy, mark me crazy, and then goes my flying career. So I dared not tell a soul, and I didn't. I never told anybody about it.
So you see why he changed his mind, decided to get in his car and get out of there. So kind of makes sense. Well, he expounds on it a little more a little later in another clip I'll show you. But in this next clip, he's going to tell us why he decided to come forward. Because he's seen an interview with Linda Mountain Howe of another guy that worked on the base that happened like the day before, I think it was. And when he saw this, he said, oh my God, so I wasn't thinking anyone saw it. So that's when he decided to go public. So in this clip, I'm going to tell you about how he discovered other people saw it and why he decided to go public. So I'm going to play this clip and we'll come back on the other side. Roll the tape.
But I did find out from a March 22nd, 2023 show that Linda Moulton Howe did on her Earth Files YouTube channel. She had a guy that was using the pseudonym of Smith Jones, and he was I think a staff sergeant at the time at RAF Upper Heyford. And on that, not on the 26th, but at 1 a.m. on the 27th, so approximately 3 hours and 15 minutes from when I saw that, he had one show up. The weapons storage area, he was guarding some weapons on a trailer until the weapons people came to, he was basically with a rifle, so doing security. He told about how he kind of walked back and forth like a sentry, and he's looking one way, looking the other way, looking all around with his rifle on his shoulder. And at one of those points, he turned around and all of a sudden here this thing was, and it was just hovering with the front end toward him, but it was a little bit below his elevation. So he's looking straight into what he said was a glass front that looked like the floor was lighted, and the light looked like it came from the floor up, not the ceiling.
So after watching that video on YouTube, Linda Moulton Howe, he decided to reach out to her. He opened a Proton email account. He sent her an email, and then I guess a couple of weeks later, she reached out to him. So in this clip, he's going to explain how she reached out to him. Roll the tape.
So that night in my hotel room, my cell phone rang, and it was Linda Moulton Howe. And she really wanted me to do like the Smith Jones thing. And I said, I'm still on a top secret clearance. And I have a reputation that I have to uphold to have credibility for the people I'm teaching. So I just don't think this is probably a good time for me to come out with that, because it's important that I finish this work, which I finally did in 2024, late 2024. So I told her I wasn't willing to do that at this point. But, her focus on the call mostly was about the one there, because in her show, she reported that RAF Falconberry, which is a little north of RAF Upper Heyford, plus more than just this one guy, had reported sightings at Upper Heyford, physically on the base or over the base. And it was in that same time frame with Rendlesham Forest, which I always thought that was just all by itself, And I didn't know about Rendlesham Forest at the time that I had my sighting.
So his explanation makes sense of why he didn't come public till after 2024, because he just said he was doing teaching until late 2024. So why he didn't come public until, I think it was September this video came out. So that totally makes sense, because you don't want to come out and ruin your whole career because this guy, if people don't believe you. So it makes sense. In this next clip I'm going to play, he talks a little bit more about the encounter with it and the reasons why he decided to get back in his car. We heard earlier, the initial reasons why he worried about his career. But in this little clip here, he's going to go a little bit further into it. So roll the tape.
And the only other motion I saw it do, while I was just sat there silent, was as I walked towards the woods, it was clearly aware of me. It was clearly stopping because of my car and me. Why, I don't know. But it responded when I started walking towards the golf course. And it responded by starting down silently. And then that's when I thought, why are you doing? If you get involved with something like this and anybody finds out, your career is over before I'd just been fully mission ready declared in June of that year. So I'd been an operational, fully certified, fully cleared mission ready pilot for 6 months. And I was enjoying what I was doing. I didn't want to stop it. So that's really why I didn't get more involved. I'm kind of glad, after hearing about what happened with some of the personnel that were exposed, that's really concerning. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't get too close, because as an engineer and scientist, I'm firmly convinced that the way those craft are working has to be a very strong electromagnetic force field that they're creating. How they're doing it, I don't know. I have a lot more understanding about electrical stuff in connection to the electromagnetic spectrum from having worked on high power microwave and high energy laser weapon systems. But, but I do understand that if you're too close to those kinds of fields without shielding, human bodies aren't really designed to stay. Like why we don't go stand in front of an operating aircraft radar, unless it's real cold, and then it'll make you feel warm because it actually thermally heats your skin. But it's not a good idea long term to be exposed to that stuff. And of course, there are people who were injured, and but none of that was in my head at the time. I didn't even think about it. I'm just curious as I can be because the way my brain works. I go, well, this is fascinating because this is not a conventional anything.
So what do you guys think of this story? I think it's fascinating. He seems very credible. Explanation why he didn't come out till now makes complete sense to me. He's an Air Force veteran and a pilot, and he was okayed around nuclear weapons and to protect them and to carry them. So he's psychologically, well, at the time, psychologically fit for duty and fit to deal with nuclear weapons, all the training they go through. So what do you guys think? Leave some comments down below and tell me what you think about him. I'm going to leave links to the there's an article, I think a New Mail article about him. I'll leave links to that. I'll leave links to the YouTube video by Professor Simon so you can watch the whole video, which I suggest you do. It's a great video. I only showed some basic small clips. It's like an hour-long interview. It's very fascinating. So just leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Like and subscribe if you like the video. I would appreciate it. Oh, and I always forget to say this. I have other videos on my channel. Please click. There's usually an end screen card that comes up for a video YouTube things you want to watch. I don't know how they figured it out, but they must figure out you want to watch that video. Or you can just click on my channel and I got other videos there to watch and peruse. And I have a shorts channel too called the Strokeonaut Shorts, which I was putting them on this channel, but the experts say you should break it up and only put shorts on it. So I made a separate channel that's just for shorts. I'm not going to put shorts on this channel anymore. But anyways, just click on anywhere down there to Strokeonaut, and I have other videos. I thank you for watching this video. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.
The Strokeonaut. Finding the truth. The truth has no agenda.